Yeah, good day everyone. My name is Abdulkabir Akinlabi. So we'll continue our training from SQL. Now, without wasting much of our time, SQL means structured query language. Structured query language. This theoretical aspect is in case you want to know the meaning. And SQL is the statement, the language, a unified language for all database. It is what sits between your application and your database. That means that when you have your applications, something is behind or something is between your application, your website. For instance, you create a website that has a form, just like this app that I'm building. Sorry, this app that I'm building. So you can see that I want to build the app to the extent of maybe agents to be submitting their application to be an agent on the platform. So what sit between your website and your database are SQL statements. So they are very, very important. SQL is the unified language for all database management systems. There is no two language for database. SQL is just the unified language. Any DBMS, database management system, such as Microsoft Access, MySQL, SQL Server by Microsoft, MS Access also by Microsoft, Oracle by the Sun. So they are all DBMS. Now the one we will be using is MySQL. So the unified language of all these ones are SQL, or is SQL. So SQL is very, very important. So now let us go straight to the point. Now what we are going to learn today, there are two statements according to what I sent in the voice note. We are going to learn inserting and also selecting. Inserting is when you want to insert something from your form to your database, that is inserting. But when you want to pull out from your database to your form, that is selecting. Now how are we going to insert? It's very, very English like statement. You write insert into the table name. You can specify the columns, then the value you are inserting into the database. Now we are going to see all these things with our with practical. Now when you on your exam, you on the MySQL and also the Apache, you turn this on. So you now go to your localhost /php myadmin. You can see php myadmin. That is where you go. So now you can see I have various databases here, but we are going to create new database. Let's assume that let us capture a school, because a database comprise of tables comprise of columns. Now let me enlarge this thing so that for those of us that want to watch it through mobile, so that you can see it very well. So I want to create a new database. I'll call it ABC school. When you are naming a database, you don't put space. Anything, either table name or anything, don't put space. Underscore is very good. So this school, you can create database. I've created the database ABC school. Now when you click on this database, it requires that you want to be adding tables inside. So inside, a school can have as many database as possible. Let's assume that one of the tables inside this database, now there is no table, there is nothing inside. So you create a table. Let us call it staff info. Staff info is going to have how many columns? You can actually edit this after. Maybe let's put 4 columns. So now it's going to ask you to specify. The first thing in any database, when you are dealing with database, the first thing you need to be doing is ID. Give it an ID. The type of data. So later we are going to discuss data type. But for now, just know that when you are inserting numbers, you put the number as integer. So, but name, you put it as varchar, variable character. Variable character means that the value can contain numbers and alphabet. So this is the length. You can call it 255. The length of the data that will be inside. You can call it all these ones. They are not that, they are very, very compulsory, but for now not as important as it is. Staff name, you can call it maybe also staff age of the staff. You can put this one as vaca 255. Then what do I need to collect again? Let me collect the telephone number of the staff, or let me collect the telephone number. The telephone number, there's no number that will be more than 10 characters, or let me just put it 20. So immediately you can actually insert more columns. You know, these ones I'm doing is I'm inserting columns. So when you finish that, you save it. Now you can see that inside my database ABC school I have staff info. Now let me for your this thing, let me create another table. New table, maybe the table name I want to call it students info. Sorry, student info. I told you that we always have primary key ID. I'm going to edit that staff info because I need to make it a primary key. Primary key are columns of a database that actually specifically target the data. For instance, in banking industry, the primary key in banking industry is your account number. In the university system, your primary key is the matriculation number, the number that no one will have except that's a number that is unique. So it's always good to specify this ID as a unique ID. So for now, name, student name also, I want to make this one a vaca 255, maybe student class. I want to make this also just making a variable character, because if I want to write GSS1, you know 1 is in GSS1 and J, all those ones are alphabet. 255. Then what again? Maybe I should call it maybe address of the students. This address can be text. You can call it text. So we call it 255 also. But this ID is always very important, that one should make it there is something here that is known as primary key. Just note it. AI auto increment means the ID should be increasing automatically. So you make it primary key. So it's not primary key. You can select the primary key here. So you make it AI means auto increment. So that means that there's no need of inserting anything inside the ID. So what you just need to do is it's be increasing automatically by itself. So this is not actually where we are going. This is just an interface. So inside this ABC database we have staff info and student info. Now the question now is, how do we insert information inside this database? Now we are already on. If I should click on Darussalam now, the database I am is Darussalam. I have agent registration table and property table. If I should go to what's the database I created now, ABC school, you have to select the this thing. So this staff information, I forgot to give it a primary ID. So there is no, I can the structure of the database, you can change the structure. The ID now, I want to change it. You can change it to be what I said, that primary key. You can make it auto increment, and also you specify it to be a primary key. You can specify that. I think I have passed it. So auto increments, you can leave it like that, auto increments. Okay, leave it like that. I'm going to change that structure later. Now how do we insert? Now it's now time for us to go to the SQL. Now this is SQL. Remember, you are still in these are the columns of you are still in staff information. If you want to insert anything, let's assume I want to insert information inside the student info. Today's this thing, the way I'm saying it is going to be 2 videos. So so that we can get it very well. So if I want to insert information inside this student info, what I'm going to do, don't forget when I was telling you that insert. Now let me just go straight to it. Insert into the table name. What is the table name? Staff info. Staff underscore info. Now it depends. Sometimes you may wish to insert inside name and age alone without putting the telephone number. So staff info, you can specify where you want to insert. But if you don't want to insert anything, for instance, I don't want to insert anything, so I don't want to specify the don't let me specify the column I want to insert into. I want to insert in everything here. So values. So now the values you want to be inserting. Number one, inside the name, I want to insert Abdul Kabir. The reason why I'm not inserting inside ID is because that time I think I have not made ID to be auto increments. Let me insert into ID 1 because this ID is an integer, so I'm not putting anything that is vaka. You quote it inside a quote. You can see that Abdul Kabir Akinlabi. So it separates it with comma. So that means that this one is going to enter inside this ID. Abdul Kabir Akinlabi will enter into the name, comma again, age. I want to, because when I was doing it, I specified that age to be vaka. So maybe put 19 years. What again? Telephone. I made that to be a vaka also. 080, this blah 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 blah. Don't forget, you must encode it. You can see this is the only one that is not in quotes because it is an integer. If you check the structure, you see that it is an integer. So now let me now click on what? Go. That's an insert statement. You can see insert into staff info. I did not specify the column in this side. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. It has inserted. If you check inside the database, you see that it has inserted 1 in ID, Abdul Kabir Akinlabi in name 19, like that. Now let's assume that I want to insert more data, SQL. So the same thing, insert into table name, staff. When it is 20 minutes, I'm going to stop the video and continue. Start info. So you can specify the columns here that I want to insert only inside name, age, and telephone. So these are you can see name, age, telephone. So those are the columns I want to specify. So values. What am I inserting inside name? So the values must go the same way with name. What I want to insert inside name is Emmanuel. Chukudenju. I've forgotten the guy's name, but he's a very nice guy. Emmanuel. So age. Let me give Emmanuel 25 years. I know Emmanuel is more than that. So telephone. Let me give Emmanuel 00939241440. So you can see that I'm putting it inside quotes. The reason why I'm putting it inside quotes is when I was declaring this name, age, telephone, I declared it as vaka, variable character. And what will enter into it is a string. So that one is those people that are learning all this programming in the university, they know all those strings and the rest, but they don't know how to practice it. So that's the issue. So now you can see I mistakenly omit the closing bracket. So it's going to complain when I click on go. I intentionally do that. So you can see it said SQL syntax error. So the reason is giving syntax error is that you can see values supposed to be inside this thing. So I mistakenly omit this. So when I click on go now, so how many data have you inserted? Staff information. We have inserted 2. You can see that there is no value inside this ID for this one. So now what am I going to do? So let's leave this for now. I'm going to use this insert statement, this video, to treat only insert statements. Then the second video will now be for select statements. I think I started this video 5:40 and this I've spent 15 minutes. So let me just insert the remaining time. I'm going to insert inside this staff student info, because that's what I'm going to use. So you go to SQL again. What I'm going to repeat the same thing. Insert into the table name. This time around, student info. So you can specify if you want to know the this thing, you can click on it, so that at least it was because I have clicked on this, or you can just click on this place, columns. You can see the column you have specified. So I'm going to start inside name, address, and class. So any way any form you follow here, you have to follow it in the values. So the values, the first value is now name, Abdul Kabir Akinlabi. Comma. What am I entering again? Address 22, or Department of Philosophy, University of Ibadan. Don't forget, you must have to terminate your open this thing. So the next thing is class. The class is GSS 2. You are going to see the beauty of this thing. So now I want to insert. You can see insert into student info, value. You can see this value, this one Akinlabi is going to enter into name, department of this one is going to enter into address, then this GS2 is going to enter into class. Now let me click on go. So it has inserted. That's one value. Now, do you know what the good thing about making ID automatic? Now this one will be giving it ID automatically. You can see this one I'm not specifying any ID, because while I was declaring the table, I made ID to be what's it called, to be auto increments. Yes, auto increments. So don't forget that. So now let me now use this period to insert. Let me insert more values. So this time around, I'm going to write it insert into table name. What is table name? Students underscore info. I don't need to specify this thing again, because, or let me just specify it. I want to insert name, address, then class. So values, the values I'm putting into it, I'm going to put Ali Abdul Ghani is a nice student. Ali Abdul Ghani into name, address Afikpo, Ebonyi State. I cover it, comma, then class, let me put GSS 1, then you cover this. So you go, I want to copy this so that I can easily insert many data, so that I can use it for selecting. So again, I'm going to insert Kudus Oyin Buchi. This one, GSS 1 also. SQL again. I'm going to insert this time around Yusuf Bako. This Yusuf Bako, let me ask him to stay in 12 Adejuwon Street. This one, I want to put him in GSS 2. So you can just be following this. Insert. I need to insert more data. So before the next video, I'm going to insert more data so that you can use it to do select. Now let me tell you something. The importance of this thing is later on, you see this name, address, they are going to be values that you are putting inside all this I think I have. Let me show you something. Agent sign up that I'm this is one I'm doing presently. So all these values you are inserting into this place, they are going to travel to the database. So later on we are going to learn how to do that. So thank you very much for viewing this video. I'm going to upload the second one very soon. So thank